But with that, pace car is off, and we're about to be underway here at Kansas Speedway. 300 miles around this very drivable track. Green flag in the air, and we're off. All right, and just like that, lap one in the books. Looks like Boyd Hogan out to an early lead. Have some battles behind him. His car is 2 wide, 3 wide. A little bit further back in this front section here, and my frames are chewing down the front stretch with the grandstands, but we'll just have to make do for now. See the 63 car there. Johnny Avila working underneath the 52 of Peyton Howell. I remember Peyton Howell. He did that 3 wide move to the outside, past 2 cars at one corner at Chicagoland. Definitely a guy that has a ton of pace. I think he actually won that race. Now that I remember, feels like it was forever ago. So definitely keep an eye on the 52 as this race continues. But top 5 starting to single out just a bit. But Boyd Hogan still enjoying that comfy lead. Now we got Vincent Crowe working underneath Peyton Howell there, able to get ahead of him just before corners 1 and 2. Still side by side down the backstretch. Peyton Howell actually going to inch out ahead, take this middle lane through 3 and 4. Oh, gets up into the wall though. This is going to stall his momentum down the front stretch, allowing Vincent Picotti to slide ahead there. Now moving just ahead, Colby DiCarlo and Johnny Avila side by side through 1 and 2. This is the battle for P4. Looks like DiCarlo is going to clear the 63 of Avila down the backstretch here. Checking back up with our leader. Looks like Hogan still enjoying about a half-second lead over his competitors. P2 Tyler Gary, our pole sitter. Oh, and we have our first caution out here on lap 7, coming to lap 8. See if we can find what happened. Getting an indication that towards the back, Bladen Edwards might have had an incident. Oh, let me see if I can get a better view of what happened for you folks. Oh yeah, you see a little bit of a pinch there. And 00 just gets into the right rear of the 27 of Bladen Edwards. 00 being Tommy Carroll Jr. there. So just kind of fighting for the same real estate. Don't know how much damage Edwards got there. We'll take a look real quick. Oh, yeah, that that nose is all sorts of caved in there. Definitely will need to come down pit lane, get that looked at. So unfortunate start to the night for the 27 of Edwards. Was moving up a little bit, but Yeah, that incident's going to set him back a ways. Do have several people coming down pit lane, it seems. Looks like 52 Peyton Howe is the furthest up competitor who has elected to come down pit lane on lap 9. Might be needing some early adjustments to get that car turning correctly, but might have been just a fuel only stop for the 52, so electing just to grab some fuel, maybe sets him ahead later on in the race. But interesting strategy call there. Again, no stage breaks, so we do have stages at lap 60, and the second stage I believe is at lap 124. So do have stages but no stage breaks, so if this thing goes green for a while, that fuel definitely will come in handy. Cool looking car there for Jeremy Clapper Newell, the driver of the 49. Taking a quick look at his stats. Average finish for Jeremy Clapper Newell, 14.4. If I kind of remember, I think he was in the doghouse for a couple races, was on probation maybe. So he's on his best behavior, but currently riding in P16. Everyone deserves a second chance, right? All right, pace car lights are off, so we will be going green here this time by. Just scanning through the top 10. Biggest mover of the race so far, Munansi Major there in that 82 car, up 7 spots from the start of the race. So great start by Mr. Major. We'll keep an eye on the 82 car as we get restarted here. '57 to go Flyers. Oh yeah, go Flyers, baby. They're playing. Are they playing tonight? All right, pace car should be rolling off. Yeah, they're playing the Penguins. Pace car is off. Waiting on the restart here. Green flag back in the air on lap 10. Another great start there for Boyd Hogan. Easily able to clear that top row there. The 57 car of Joseph Stafford following Hogan now into the P2 spot for now. Gonna have some competition there on the outside of 26 with Gary having the momentum. See if Stafford can hold on to the second position or just slot in behind and ride third for now. Still 2x2 behind Mr. Hogan here. Joe Stafford hanging tough on the bottom side. Looks like he's going to get cleared this time down the backstretch. Tyler Gary going to slide back into that second spot. Behind Stafford, we have DiCarlo and Avila. Again, once more side by side. See DiCarlo really go up the track, ride that third lane up there, trying to get that slingshot down the backstretch and clear the 63, and he does. So DiCarlo claiming that fourth spot. And Avila doing his best to hold off the 47 of Vincent Picotti. Avila into the wall. That stalls all of his momentum. Picotti by. Also, Munansi Major there trying to capitalize on that mistake, and he does. And Avila actually going to lose another spot there. Looks like he slid behind Zelenka, Mr. Bacon in the 45 as well. So costly mistake by the 63. Just felt a little bit of heat being up towards the front, enough for him to make a mistake, get up into that wall and slide back several spots. Oh, as we car sideways down the front stretch, Caleb Begg, it looks like, able to get it saved and pointed straight, but he was completely sideways. That rear end got real light for the 72. He has fallen back several spots, but almost caused a big one there down the front stretch. But for now, we're still green, so great save by Mr. Begg. Definitely might need a change of a fire suit when he comes down pit lane. See Daryl Hahn here with looks like Dallas Pataska, or no, that's Ray Gill there to his outside in the 66. Gill sliding up ahead, but Daryl Hahn definitely has his hands full with Pataska, and Howell and his wings go on board now with Dallas Pataska as he starts to knife his way through this field. See Dallas Pataska with 2 wins on the season, 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s. So great start of the season for Mr. Pataska. Has led 245 laps, so he knows how it feels to be up front, and looks good doing it. Currently riding P3, sorry, not P3, P12, and is P3 in the season standings as of now. Interesting, you heard him shift down to 4th there through 3 and 4. This time through 1 and 2, keeping it in 5th. We'll watch 3 and 4 one more time just to see if that was just no, yeah, so he's shifting down to 4th, going into 3 and 4 every lap. Be interesting to see if other drivers are following suit, or if we have different strokes for different folks. See Johnny Villa is able to get back past Mr. Bacon there in the 45, now working on Minazzi Major again after having that issue with the wall on the exit of 4. Carlos starting to really threaten Gary's 2nd spot here. Getting real close to the bumper of the 26. Boyd Hogan enjoying a 7/10 lead over Gary. And that might grow as these two cars look as if they're about to converge here. We'll keep an eye on that battle as we progress through this first stage. 39 laps to go now in this first stage, so still some time here for some guys to improve their positions, maximize those stage points. Great to see some guys running different lines here. Obviously looks like the bottom lane is a preferred line, tire saving line, but let's have some guys searching for speed up middle lane, as you see DeCarlo there in the 17 ride that middle lane, and then have the Minazzi Major committed to that outside lane. So all sorts of experimentation and line searching going on. Now we have the 57 and 63 of Johnny Avila side by side through 1 and 2. Johnny Avila's trying to claw his way back up to the top 4. He does, able to clear the 57 down the backstretch, though they're again side by side here through 3 and 4. But 63 able to use that momentum to clear and pass Joseph Stafford there on the exit. And he's now behind DeCarlo, who we saw was threatening Tyler Gary's position, but since then has fallen back just a bit. Might have been a bit of an error there by Gary, allowing him to get back up to his bumper, but since then has been able to re-establish that gap. Taking a look at the best laps of the race so far for each driver. Our leader, Boyd Hogan, with the 29.673, fastest lap of the race. Definitely a great stat to have when you're riding in clean air up front. And we'll switch it to last lap here to keep an eye on trending lap times, trending speeds. Taking a quick glance through that top 10, seems like 52 car of Peyton Howell is currently running fastest laps. Last time he had a .5, leader had a .7. Go on board here with Peyton Howell. Oh, as right in front of him, car gets spun around there. Caution is out. Now we will go back and take a look. Right as we went on board with the 52, we saw, I believe that was Austin Brooks, get hooked on the exit of 4. Bringing out the caution here on lap 28. So you see Austin Brooks there, center of your screen, gets a little bit of a shot there. And around he goes. So he didn't get hooked, more like just rear of his car got upset by the shot there given to him. Was trying to see who that was. It's the 47. Oh, Vincent Picotti there in the 47, getting into the rear of the 33, sending him around as he comes to rest there right at that restart zone. So, yeah, it was right on the exit of 4. Seems like the car is fine. Tires definitely hot after that one. Driver also might be hot after that one. But taking a look at the scoring, it seems like everybody is coming down pit lane. Including our leader, Boyd Hogan. And I am getting word that we actually do have one driver who pitted on lap 7, electing to stay out. Tanner Love, driver of the 51, still out, so he will claim the lead. And I think this pit lane report is gonna like grow off the screen here. Yeah, here it goes. I should have thought of that. It's gonna completely grow off the screen. Maybe saved. I think we're good. I think we saved it. Though looking at the the actual metrics on this pit lane report, I don't think they're accurate. Yeah, I don't think these are right. So it looks cool, but I think it's broken. We'll see. Because Hogan should have lost one spot, not gained one spot. He was in the lead. Now is P2 behind Love, so I'll get that ironed out. I'm writing stuff down here. But yeah, at least it's showing something. All right. Well, with that, we are 31 laps left 31 laps away from the end of stage 1, and pace car lights are off, so we will be going green this time. Green flag back in the air, and Tanner Love, who pitted on lap 7, elected to stay out, is now in command of this field, as Boyd Hogan and Tyler Gary were side by side for just a second, but it looks like Tyler Gary able to make that bottom work. He's now to the quarter of Tanner Love here, in a real threatening position to gain the lead here, as Tanner Love feeds the dirty air to the 96. That's gonna be a tough spot for Boyd Hogan to try to work his way back up, but it looks like he's gonna split the middle between Johnny Avila. Johnny Avila throwing a bit of a block there, able to keep the 96 of Hogan behind him for now. Minazzi Major underneath Hogan here through 1 and 2. Major and Hogan side by side here, heading down the backstretch. Very similar paint colors and paint schemes for these two, so doing my best to distinguish the two cars, but heading out at 3 and 4. Looks like Hogan has the advantage, able to slide up to the 3rd spot. And that lap, Avila set the fastest lap of the race. So whatever he did to that car during that pit stop definitely seems to be feeling nice for the 63. Tyler Gary and Avila have opened up a gap just a bit above Hogan there. But we'll see now that Hogan has some separation to the field if he can work his way back up. Further back behind, have all sorts of jostling for position. A 52 car of Peyton Howe surgically dicing his way through these guys here. But so is Dallas Mataska in that 23. We saw Dallas Mataska start about, I believe he started P20. So now up 12 spots from the start of this race. Looking real good, as he is now 3 wide down the front stretch here, with Colby DiCarlo pushing from behind. All sorts of bunched up here, heading into 1 and 2. It looks like Pataska is going to be able to clear 52, but he does ride that high lane, allowing cars to get some positioning on entry. You'll have to nail the exit here. Glances off the wall, though. Looks like he's still able to keep the momentum on exit. And as things are tightening up here for about P6, looks like things are getting super tight up front. Now Avila to the lead. So Avila takes over the lead. Gary slides back about 2/10 now. I might have missed the pass for the lead a bit earlier, watching all the action in the back here, but Hogan now threatening Tyler Gary here as he rides up near the wall, trying to plan a pass here, doing the crossover down the backstretch, diving way underneath, gonna try to slide up ahead of Tyler here on exit. He does, so able to claim that 2nd spot. Hogan now gonna try to work on the 63 here. Tyler Gary almost there on the outside down the front stretch, but Hogan's still able to hold on to that position. Now Gary has a good run on the outside. Oh, super tight there on exit. Hogan closing the door, but now Gary looking to return the favor. Gary making up good ground there, using the apron. And Avila, I mean, he's still right there. These two are battling side by side, lap after lap here. Avila not able to really capitalize on this. Still within about a 1/10 from these two drivers battling just behind them. And this time it looks like Gary has the advantage as Hogan slides up. Doesn't quite have the run down the backstretch to complete that crossover there. So Gary for now holding on to this second position. And while that battle has subsided for now, looks like Pataska and Howe still duking it out here for P5. And a driver who has absolutely diced his way through this field. 42, Andrew Navarro, now up 15 spots, riding P4. Right behind Boyd Hogan here. We'll go on board here with Andrew Navarro. Remember seeing him at Chicagoland. Not sure if he ran last week. Obviously wasn't here, so it doesn't seem like he has stats recorded for the league, but very talented driver. He was very fast at Chicagoland. So expect him to continue to work his way forward here as he's now behind our third spot car, Boyd Hogan. We'll back off to a blimp cam here for just a second just to get our bearings. But Johnny Avila currently P1, Gary P2, Hogan P3, Andrew Navarro riding P4. And Dallas Pataska, Peyton House still fighting here for that top 5 position. We saw Pataska with the advantage, but now it seems like Howe has successfully worked his way around Pataska there and claimed that P5 position. And now the 27 of Bladen Edwards moves ahead of Pataska into P6. We saw Edwards with that issue as we have a car around on the front stretch. Believe that's Boyd Hogan coming to a stop here on the front stretch. Boyd was riding in P3 and caution is out on lap 46. And let's see what happened here. Oh, we have oh. So Boyd was working heavily on Tyler Gary there underneath. A little bit of a door bang caused enough momentum slowage for Andrew Navarro to get into his right rear, and that just upset the car enough. And Boyd Hogan was around there. Take one more look here. You see Hogan get upset underneath Gary, then Navarro, who was trying to get up as high as he could, almost up near into the wall, just clipped Hogan just enough for him to get completely sideways here. Oh, and it looks like secondary contact there for the 17 of DiCarlo as Pataska had to clear away from Hogan there. We'll also go on board here. This is DiCarlo. Oh, yeah, just no time to react there. Pataska wasn't expecting Hogan to flick back up the track like that. So unfortunate consequence there for DiCarlo. All right, it looks like we had some guys pit there. Yeah, so it looks like basically everybody from P6 back on the standings as of now went down pit lane, so top 5 drivers still on older tires, electing the track position here with 13 to go in this stage. Maybe they can steal some stage points here. And apologies for the kind of like the frame drops. It seems like every time I update iRacing, the frames get worse and worse. So let's see if we can remediate that somehow. But we'll have to live with it for now. This Pix car is off. Waiting on Edwards to get us restarted here. Green flag in the air. Inside row gets a good jump there. Edwards clear of the field as he crosses the start finish there. We have all sorts of jostling in the back. 3 wide already, almost 4 wide through 1 and 2. As Johnny Avila, Tyler Gary, Manazzi Major, and Joe Stafford there sorted it out through 1 and 2 right off the bat. Now we have 3 wide heading 3-4 between Hal, Avila, and Gary there to the outside. As these guys on newer tires start to work their way up through the field, definitely going to see a lot of lanes being used. Oh, Hal going way down the track now. Going to try to work this inside angle through 3 and 4, keep his momentum. Caleb Begg sliding way back. I believe Caleb Begg was one of the guys on the older tires, so definitely see the difference of speed there as these guys on the newer tires just come roaring through this field. Tyler Gary, no exception, as he's riding that wall on the exit of 1 and 2, just behind our once leader Edwards there. He's driving to the front here, just outside 33. Austin Brooks, saw him have that early incident there. Elected to stay out for track position. Gary diving underneath Edwards. He is now P2 behind Blake Neer. Here comes Avila now, also riding the wall here. He's going to clear all sorts of drivers here on the exit of 2. Now sitting P3, so Avila and Gary both on fresher tires, hunting down our leader Blake Neer, who stayed out with 9 laps to go here in this first stage. Things continue to bottle up here as the slower drivers on the older tires start to slide back. Everybody making the most of every inch of this track to try to keep their momentum, not get stalled out in front of the slower guys. Vincent Bacati, Hal almost coming together on the exit of 4. You saw Bacati get real loose there. And it looks like Gary is now up to the front. Missed the actual move. Blake Neer actually has slid back quite a few positions there. Might have just pushed the car a little bit too hard on those older tires. So still P4 though. If he can maintain that spot, definitely a good start as far as points go. So could be a net benefit for the 14 car if he's able to hold on to a few more spots. Now he has Hal working underneath him through 3 and 4 here. Oh, Picotti again loose. Almost looked like he had to check up there for Joseph Stafford. Oh, oh no. Oh my God. Someone check on him. Window net's not down. That's not good. And he towed. Oh man. That was insane. I looked away for half a second to check something on the timing, and he got hooked hard. Oh my gosh. Window net is still up, yeah. Oh my gosh. We'll take another look at that. But man, what an impact there to the outside wall for Vincent Picotti. You see him riding ahead of the 42 of Navarro. Oh, yeah, good. Oh my gosh. I mean, he somersaulted off that catch fence. What a spectacular wreck. You seen just all of his momentum into the wall. Dallas Potasek coming in and just hip checking him into that catch fence. Oh. I mean, he's a good 20 feet off the ground there. With the banking and all. Man. That's one of the most spectacular wrecks I've seen in iRacing ever. I do want to see a couple angles there. Looks like let me see if I can go back and check this. See Ray Gill shoot the gap and able to make it through there. I mean, he was experiencing all sorts of action in front of him there, but able to stay calm and make the right move at the right time. And it looks like Colby DiCarlo. Oh, sorry, this was the last one here. Trying to see, yeah, Dallas Potasek just comes up and cleans up. Boyd Hogan able to slide through. So is the 51 there of Tanner Love. So it looks like really Potasek, Navarro, and the car flipping through the air, Vincent Picotti were the only ones involved. But obviously, all three of those drivers most likely wrapped for the night. And we will be sure. Check 66 POV. Yeah, I did. Let me go inside with him real quick. Let's see. Ray Gill, right? And we'll go inside camera. Yeah, you see him. You see him start to flip. I mean, Gill just has no idea here, and he sees the gap, shoots the gap. Great bit of driving there by Mr. Gill. But I think we're about to go green here, so I'll be sure to get the camera back. So, wow, able to clean up the track and get Picotti into the infield care center rapidly there as we're already green again. ambulance are out the track. Oh man, they need a helicopter. They need to get him out of there fast. I think we saw one of the guys hop out of one of the trucks and pick up some limbs that were scattered across across the infield. But after all that said and done, Tyler Gary now to the front. Avila and Minazzi Major battling here for P2. We did actually finish stage one there. The results came out right as that caution occurred because it was in the 4-lap window of the stage ending. So I believe these are the stage results for stage one. Obviously unofficial results. We'll have those official results by end of race. All sorts of great battles throughout the pack. You saw Bladen Edwards there split Tanner Love 3 wide there, now able to slide up into that 10th spot, right behind the 96 of Boyd Hogan. Hogan was enjoying a nice quiet lead for much of that early first stage, but now he is back here in the Hornet's Nest, having to navigate that dirty air. Is Blake Neer looking underneath the 95 and clearing up ahead of Tanner Love there, so making a couple great passes there through 3 and 4. Neer, who we know has a lot of speed, doing well here so far in this second stage. We'll go on board with Blake Neer. 2 top 5 finishes, 3 top 10 finishes, with the average finish of 13.9. So pretty strong start for the 14 car. And saw him just get up into position 9 now, so definitely trending the right direction as we restarted and began stage 2. We'll check back up towards the front. So I did see a bit of a battle here just ahead of Neer, though. Have Edwards and the 31 of Jeff Chandler side by side here through 1 and 2. And Jeff Chandler, I mean, he's up 17 spots from the start of this race. So Mr. Chandler in the 31, very, very cool looking paint there. The red and black looks very nice. A little bit of a bobble there on exit of 4, but that's going to happen when you're really driving aggressively in this dirty air. Big bobble there from Joseph Stafford. You saw his rear end get real twitchy there on the exit. That's going to open things up for Neer and Edwards just below him as Neer gets turned through the entrance of 1, and so does Stafford here. Guys trying to check up and stay out. Caution is out. And it looks like we had several cars sideways through the entrance of 1 and through the middle of 1 and 2, bringing out the caution. But luckily, it looks like everybody was able to make it through okay. And we don't have much damage, don't think. We'll go back and take a look here. Yeah, we just had, oh my gosh, you see Daryl Hahn slide through there. Yeah, think most of the field undamaged from that caution. We'll take a look one more time here, but keep an eye on Daryl Hahn in that 8 car. Shoot this gap, you see. Oh, Stafford almost touching the right rear of Hahn. And I believe we're on board with Hogan here. We'll take one more look here. But Daryl Hahn, I mean, that's like... That is very close, but able to make it through okay. Back under caution here on lap 72. Looks like Tyler Gary pitted from the lead, so Johnny Avila will now be claiming the lead. I believe like the top 7 drivers still out on the track, all electing to stay out, while Gary, Hogan, Howell all electing to go down pit lane. And a driver involved in that that spectacular wreck involving Bataska and Vincent Picotti. Andrew Navarro still is rolling, so it looks like he's going to be able to get some damage repaired here. Still on the lead lap, so sorry, no, he's actually 1 lap down, but he is in the lucky dog position if we do get another caution, but electing to get as much of that damage repaired as he can. Trying to see if our pace car lights off. Let me see. Yeah, pace car lights are off. So I was gonna try to grab Ray Gill there and ask him about that Dodge he put on, but we'll be going green this time, and we'll actually do let's do a quick crank it up off the green before we lose too many drivers. All right, pace car is off. About to go green again here at Kansas, lap 73 coming to 74. And we'll step away for a quick crank it up. All right, coming out of the Crank It Up, things really heating up at the front as we have Bladen Edwards out to the lead. Johnny Avila doing his best to stalk him down here. And just behind them, Tyler Gary, Peyton Howell, and Jeff Chandler, all in the top 5. And Gary working this outside, able to get around Avila there. Now up to P2. And he's going to try to go underneath of Edwards here through 3 and 4. Has good drive in here. Able to get about even with him through center and clear up ahead of Edwards on the exit of 4. So Tyler Gary back up to the front here on lap 81. Just to get a clearer picture of last laps, these drivers pitted. Gary and Howell, who are 1 and 2 last, pitted on lap 71. Edwards last pitted on lap 57. Avila 46. That is your top 5. So different pit strategies for different drivers here. But as for our top 2, definitely smart decision to go down pit lane, get fresh tires and fuel. And they have worked their way back up to the front. Also taking a look here at the biggest movers. You see Edwards there up 22 spots. I believe he actually started in the last position as we rolled off the grid, but riding P3 now. Has definitely done a great job moving his way forward. Another big mover, Austin Brooks, driver of the 33, riding in P6. We saw him have that early incident there. But, rolling pretty well now. We'll take a look at the speed. See these guys get up close to about 190 miles per hour before heading into 3 and 4. Very fast track. We have things heating up just a bit back with Johnny Avila, Austin Brooks, and Boyd Hogan here. So looks like Brooks and Avila, a little bit of a bobble there down the backstretch. So Hogan making the most of it, able to slide ahead. Now he's in that top 5 position, riding behind Joe Stafford in the 57. If you want to see good stats on board here with Boyd Hogan, 6 top 5s and a win, average finish with the 5.8. Hogan has had a great start to this season. Maybe wishes he had about 1 or 2 more wins, but definitely always up towards the front. Because now you see him working around the outside of Joe Stafford here through 1 and 2. He is now in the 4th spot. And Peyton Howell now threatening the lead that Tyler Gary claimed over Edwards several laps back. Oh, and Howell's saving. You hear that? So Howell last pitted on lap 71. And it sounds like he's cutting it off on entry. Very, very interesting. So obviously, Hogan getting real tight, having to lift on the exit of 2, causing a pretty big stack up there. But 52 is saving, shutting it off every entry. Obviously, with over 100 laps left, has to be some sort of wanting to make it on just one more stop. But we'll see here as Hogan now sliding back behind Howell and Edwards. Also giving 96 a bit of a problem here. Not sure what happened with the 96. We saw him get real tight up into the wall. Obviously stalled his momentum there, so he's having to fight to regain that speed here. But definitely works out well for the 52 as he now has more space to save. And all this track position to work with while he's saving too. So he can continue to save while keeping this second position for even longer here. As Hogan and Edwards still battling behind him for P3. Edwards is on about 13 lap older tires than 96, so was doing a pretty strong job there holding off Hogan for a bit, but that time 96 able to clear around the outside of the 27. We'll take a look at the last lap times here again. 52 is saving every lap, but still running very competitive laps, 30.7. Looks like Edwards actually ran the fastest lap that time by in the top 10. But things starting to calm down just a bit as much of the field is single filed out. With 28 laps to go in the second stage. 3 laps away from the halfway point. So kind of get the feeling that some of these drivers understand that guys are starting to settle in here, get into a good rhythm. Well, 52 was saving. Now keeps it on through the entire length of the corner. So I wonder if he hit his fuel saving goal, or what exactly the situation was there, but anyone in chat know the fuel window? I know, like, what, mile and a half tracks normally are 60 laps, 65. But now, looking at the lap times, looks like Howell really doing well to keep his pace up with a 30.644 last time by our leader with a 30.8. Again, we saw Howell win at Chicagoland, so we know he has the consistent pace that you need to get it done. With that said, Hogan now also becoming a competitor here for the lead as he pulls up to the back of Howell, who was starting to reel Gary. So things starting to converge up here towards the front as we have 21 laps to go in the second stage. Howell with a great run here down the backstretch. Real tight to the bumper to the 26, looking on the inside this time. Able to get great positioning here through mid-corner. 26 still able to roll well there in that middle lane. Do have some traffic just ahead. Carroll Jr. might be enough of a disruption here to cause some sort of issue as Gary has to dive up to the outside. They split around Carroll Jr. there. As Howell's loose, he gets real loose. Big bobble there through 2. That's going to cost him a spot here as 96 of Boyd Hogan able to capitalize on this mistake. And Hogan, who's rolling strong there in that middle lane, able to clear around Howell here down the front stretch. So 52 car was looking real threatening for the lead there. Had the lap traffic, caused a bit of a disruption, moves him back to P3. Hogan up to P2, and Gary has a little bit more time now to breathe in the lead. Not sure what happened to Bladen Edwards, but he did receive a black flag. And I think he's electing to hang it up here, as I'm not seeing any movement on his lap ticker there. So have to find out what happened later. Some of the tightest racing on the track comes in the form of Daryl Hahn in the 8 car, riding on the outside there of the 18 of Tyler Seville. Just ahead of them, Austin Brooks in the 33 and Tommy Carroll Jr. there. That lap traffic that caused a bit of drama up front. Daryl Hahn looking underneath Austin Brooks here through 1 and 2. We saw Howell get loose there on that low side, so you got to be real careful as the 33 up into the wall. That's going to allow Hahn to slide underneath and into P7. And Hogan looking real threatening now. Really starting to grow large in the rear of the 26 as he's now riding this bottom lane through 3 and 4, trying to get positioning on exit. Cutting the apron here to get side by side with Tyler Gary down the front stretch. He's going to have the position advantage heading into 1 and 2. Can he make the bottom work? He does. Slides up ahead of Gary there. Gary looking to do crossover, but not enough momentum. So Boyd Hogan now up to the race lead. We saw him leading early in this race in stage 1. Have a couple issues. Got caught up in a couple incidents mid-pack. Also got loose through 1 and 2. Saw him sideways through 1 and 2 at one point, but able to put those problems behind him and now drive back up to the front and lead this race with 13 laps to go in stage 2. I did want to quickly shout out, does seem like the 52 is back to his saving strat. Not this time. I thought I heard it. Let's see here, 3 and 4. No, all right. I'm just a liar, I guess. We have a car down on pit lane. Johnny Avila electing to come down pit lane and get 4 tires and fuel. Go on board with Tyler Gary here. 2 wins, 5 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and he was the one I was hearing shutting it off. So sounds like he's trying to get to the fuel window where he just needs to stop one more time to make it to the end of this race here. So it makes you wonder if relinquishing the lead there to the 96 was all part of the plan, or if he's now saving, understanding that the 96 has pace on him for now and he needs to play the long game. But we'll just time will tell. We'll have to wait and see what these guys elect to do with the pit window closely or starting to get closer. So we do have another car down pit lane. Jeff Chandler looks like he is in his pit stall getting fuel, getting tires. So he has elected to come down pit lane here with 7 laps to go in stage 2. Oh, and it looks like Chandler did get black flagged. Not sure what the flag was for, but you see him serving some sort of penalty there on pit lane, which is going to cost him dearly here as we continue green flagged laps. Does look like Chandler, after that black flag, has elected to call it. Now we see Daryl Hahn coming down pit lane. See if he can get it slowed up enough, locking it up just a bit. But it seems like he able to get it slowed up in time there for his green flag stop. See if anybody else comes down pit lane before the end of stage 2. All sorts of fuel saving going on at the front. Let's check in with Boyd Hogan to see if he's also joining in on this fuel saving party. Nope, so it's still just riding normally through 3 and 4 there. We'll check Tyler Gary again here, who's riding P2 currently. Yeah, so heavy saving there from the 26. And this is the last lap of stage 2. We saw some guys electing to go down pit lane before the stage end, but top 10 will be receiving points here as Boyd Hogan drives around through 3 and 4, taking the green checkered flag here on lap 124. So the story is set here for the final stage here for the 5-Star Cup Series race at Kansas Speedway. Have Boyd Hogan in the first spot, Tyler Gary in P2, Peyton Howell in P3. Have some fuel saving going on throughout our top 5. Also some just normal running, but with 75 laps to go, we are starting to approach the point where you could get away with just stopping one more time, and I imagine that's the plan for a lot of these guys saving, as we have a couple other contenders coming down pit lane. Casey Clark Jr. already getting service, now rolling back off onto the racing surface. Austin Brooks also in his pit stall here, though. Looks like he did get black flag for some sort of penalty, most likely speeding on entry. We have another driver down pit lanes. Joe Stafford there was in the top 5, I believe, so starting to see some of our drivers up towards the front electing to come down pit lane. Minoxie Major also now in for his green flag stop. Oh, Andrew Navarro also coming down pit lane in a very dramatic fashion there. Fortunately for the 42, believe he is still several laps down here. Never quite had the pace after that incident with Pataska and Vincent Piccati. Another fast guy who we have been calling a lot of this evening is Johnny Avila, pitted on lap 112. So he pitted before the final stage here. Obviously is a lap down now, but definitely has a lot of clean air. We'll see if he's able to make up that gap from pitting much earlier than the other guys. See if that plan pans out for the 63. Things really starting to tighten up here, as it looks like Tyler Gary actually has passed Hogan for the lead. So Tyler Gary back up to the race lead. Hogan now getting passed there on the inside by Peyton Howe, as it looks like Hogan now electing to come down pit lane as caution is out. Actually, looks like Hogan might have made a mistake there. Don't know if he was going to try to pit, but nonetheless, caution is out on lap 131. I want to say, yeah, it looks like Hogan got sideways through turns 3 and 4. I'm not sure what happened there. I mean, I don't know if he was trying to set up a pit stop or what, but uh-oh, I think we have some post caution contact here. Nope. Looks like guys just checking up for the pace car. Crash detection a little bit off there, but all right. Well, that really kind of forces the hand of a lot of these drivers who were saving, but now we have a caution, so really no choice but to come down now. But Johnny Avila was in that lucky dog position, so he will get the wave around and most likely come down pit lane, considering he has to drop to the back anyways. C96 rolled through his stall there, so compounding mistakes for Hogan. And Howe gets a great leap off of pit lane there. He's actually going to claim the race lead on pit lane. Yeah, it really just looks like Howe got into his stall better, out of his stall better by about half a second. And it was almost a full second faster from total pit lane time. So just the collection of all that together was enough for the 52 to get a great jump off of his pit stall and into the race lead here with 68 laps to go. Hogan dropping way back to P6 now, as we remember we saw him slide through his stall there, and I believe he was the cause of that caution coming out. Again, not sure if he was trying to stop there under green, but we will have to fight his way back up to the lead if if he wants to reclaim one of those podium spots. And honestly, like, if anyone's gonna do it, it's the 96. He's had the speed early, has shown the pace through middle into late run, so just needs to keep the car clean now that he's back, shuffled back a bit, and he will be back up in the front before this thing's done here. But pace car lights are off. How our new race leader from the pit lane pass will get us restarted here. Pace car is off. 68 laps to go. Lap 133 to 134. Green flag back in the air. And inside lane gets a great jump. See Tyler Gary drop down in front of Seville there. Trying to stalk the rear end of the 52 as he's now, even with him heading down the backstretch, Tyler Gary trying to gain the lead here fast. And he does, firing that thing off into 3 and 4. Tyler Gary to our race lead. And I mean, what a difference of pace there on that restart. Gary just firing off like a rocket. 52 really did not stand a chance. Don't know if he just got his car into an uncomfortable position, saw the 26 coming, instead of trying to put more of a block on, he just elected to allow him by and chase him down, but did not hold on to that lead for long, that's for sure. As we see the 96 of Boyd Hogan working on the outside of Tyler Seville here. Remember, he started P6, now up to P4. Hogan able to get around. Seville now working on Tanner Love. Continuing to make this middle lane work here. And around Hogan goes, so he's able to get up to P3 now, still leveraging this middle lane here as he's now to the outside of 52 of Howe on the exit of 3 and 4. They're going to be sideways coming down the front. They're going to be side by side coming down the front stretch. Hogan with a great deal of speed there. So now he's able to get around Tyler Gary through 1 and 2. Gary kind of got bogged down there on the bottom. And Hogan back to the race lead after dropping back to P6 after that caution. Still a lot of laps left. Hogan using that middle lane might heat up the tires a bit more than his competitors Gary and Howell, but let's see if he does a good job trying to conserve these tires now that he has the track position. But already opening up a 7/10 lead over Tyler Gary. Things starting to stack up behind Howe here, so very real possibility that another caution could come out and restack this field, eliminate the lead Hogan has opened up here. Daryl Hahn splitting the middle between Tanner Love and Munatsi Major there. Tanner Love able to hold off Daryl Hahn for now as he's riding underneath. And they are still 3 wide heading into 1 and 2. Looks like Daryl Hahn's going to be able to clear Tanner Love that time. And it does now. Now that I look at the live timing and scoring, Daryl Hahn is a lap down, but he is racing the 82 Minacci Major just to his outside for that lucky dog position. So not racing for the lead or as far as his competitors directly around him, but very much in the race with that 82 car there. As you see, get into the wall. Hahn trying to squeeze through the middle here. Real tight racing there into 3 and 4. Hahn doing everything he can to try to get around the 82 to claim that lucky dog position, but obviously still has to keep in mind the lead lap competitors as well. And Boyd Hogan out to a 2.2 lead over Tyler Gary. He has completely checked out. I mean, Hogan just has all the clean air he needs. These guys are racing hard behind him as Minacci Major now moves up to P2. Again, Minacci Major is a lap down, but he is trying to drive away from Daryl Hahn in that 8 car. And I think I just heard something rather interesting that we might still have some saving going on. Yep, so we do have some saving going on by Tyler Gary here, which would explain the massive lead we're seeing by Boyd Hogan. Let's see if Howell is also saving. Yeah, so a lot of saving going on here. And if I go to Boyd Hogan, I doubt I'll hear saving here, as he's almost to a 3-second lead now. Yep, keeps it running through 1 and 2 there. Well, I'm sure we'll hear the same through 3 and 4. Yeah, so absolutely no saving by the 96, like his competitors here. So very interesting. We'll have to see how that develops here, but definitely Hogan making the most of what he's got now and opening up a 3-second gap over P2. And it's interesting because obviously Daryl Hahn trying to drive as hard as he can to get back up to Minacci Major there. He is going to have to get around these cars saving ahead of him. Well, let's check in with someone like a Johnny Avila here. See if he's also safe. I believe he was clutching there. Saw the RPMs drop way down to about 2,000 through the center of the corner. We'll check again here through 1 and 2. Yep, so definitely clutching on entry through center. So all sorts of saving going on throughout the field. And glancing back at the top 3. So Hogan still has a lead of about 2.5 seconds over Tyler Gary. So it looks like Hogan's lap time has dropped off a bit. Let's see if he's saving now. Oh, still riding normal there up front. So yep, still saving by Howell here. And still big gap to Gary, but has dropped by about 7/10. And Gary is saving, so we'll keep an eye on that lead. And I missed it because it looks like Daryl Hahn has worked his way around Munatsi Major. So he is in that lucky dog position if we were to have some sort of drama, bring out a caution. See Gill working hard here on Joe Stafford there, almost touching his left rear quarter there through 1 and 2. But Gill having himself quite the night. Started P8, now up to P6. So great job running in the top 10 here for Ray Gill. We saw him making those quick hands, making a good move there, trying to or successfully getting through a wreck with Picotti into the outside wall. See Gill here, average finish outside the top 10, so obviously a top 10 finish tonight would be a great result for the 66. And again, looking at the gap, Hogan out to a 4-second lead now. Still do not believe Hogan is saving at all there in the 96. While his competitors are saving heavily. And Howe actually able to make a pass here despite the heavy saving. So Peyton Howe now claiming that second position here, and we'll see if Howe maybe it's time for him to drop the hammer. We'll go on board real quick with Peyton Howe. Maybe no, still saving. So just just able to save at a little bit more rapid pace than Gary, I suppose. Now Tanner Love also able to work his way around Tyler Gary. So Gary falling back to P4 now. And again, showing the last pitted lap. Looks like Tanner Love pitted lap 130. Stafford pitted lap 126. But other than that, top 8 drivers all pitted lap 131. So the only thing I can really think of for the 96 here, he wanted to take advantage of the fresh tires and the speed the fresh tires offer, and then do heavy saving later in the run, hopefully of building enough of a gap to where by the time his competitors get back to him, he has saved enough to defend if need be. That's really the only thing I could think of Boyd is doing here. Obviously, I could be completely wrong, but yeah. So right after I mentioned that, Boyd Hogan coming down pit lane here with 31 to go. So obviously was driving as hard as he could for hopefully a caution coming out, but Caution does not come out, and that's going to allow these guys who were heavy saving to move forward here. And if there is no caution, they are in a prime position now. See our leaders work their way around the 96 of Hogan, who's now a lap down, and they're still saving through every corner here up at the lead. So we might have some gliders by the time we get to the checkered here. But remember just how heavily Tyler Gary was saving. He dropped back quite a ways there from P2. So definitely trying to build up a reserve here so he can make a final push as we approach the end. But 28 laps to go now. Field really spread out. See Hogan trying to work his way back through the field after going down a lap. Hogan only about 2 seconds behind, getting his lap back the hard way here, as he's already getting around our second place car, 51 of Tanner Love. So I mean, something else to consider. 26 laps left. Is that enough time for the 96, who's on completely fresh tires now, to drive back through the field and regain the lead the hard way? Obviously on fresh tires, running a pretty rapid pace here. We'll check the last lap times to see what sort of split we're seeing. And again, the guys who are on the lead lap, or up at the lead, they're both heavy saving and on older tires, so that combination will be enough for Hogan to be able to drive back around and get back to the lead. 24 laps now left. So that time by, Hogan ran a 30.2. Our leader ran a 30.9. Yeah, just doing some quick math. Don't think Hogan has enough time to catch up at that level of a split. Would need the fall off to be a little bit more dramatic to be able to drive back. But you know what? Let's for the sake of the broadcast, let's say there's a chance. So. Yeah, it looks like the pace Hogan is running currently. He needs about 45 laps to catch the leader. Obviously, 20 laps to go, not enough time. We'll need some sort of help from a caution or really anything to get back into this race. But see if our leader, yes, still saving up front, so committed to the fuel mileage race here. Howell, with 19 laps left, will most likely be saving till the end. With 15 laps to go, just checking through our top 5. So Tanner Love up 21 spots from the start of the race. If he can finish this thing in P2, will be a great night for him, as he's only had 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, average finish of 12.4. So P3 would be, or sorry, P2 would be excellent finish for Mr. Love here, as we also hear him saving through every corner here. So this time sounds like still committed to throttle there, so he might have hit his window. Quick glance off the wall. That allows Gary to inch a bit closer there down the backstretch. I'll switch the camera off, Mr. Love, before I cause any sort of incident there. But regardless, P2, P3, great run by the 51. I'm curious to see if Gary has up, so he's still also saving. So it looks like this lap, Gary dropping the hammer now as he works his way around Tanner Love there. Back up into P2. We'll see if he continues to pour it on here through 1 and 2. Yep. Keeps it on, doesn't clutch, so he is trying to drive back to our race leader, Peyton Howell. That time saves through 3 and 4. So really has to be tight, really has to be right on the edge there. It's very possible some of these guys up front too could run out of fuel. So Also, another thing we'll have to consider here with 10 laps to go, Peyton Howe has about an 8/10 lead over Gary as of now. We saw Gary run about a lap and a half there, not saving, but went back to shutting it off through 3 and 4. And the gap still about 8/10 here. Crossing the line, lap 194, 7 to go. Check last lap times here. Things really looking pretty flat there up top. Howell and Gary both running 30.8. Basically almost the same in lap times, 2.9 to 3.5. That time Gary actually a bit slower than Howell. So Howell, despite the heavy saving, still has the pace when he needs it here. And the gap opening up more now as Gary still committed to the heavy saving. Don't think he'll be able to make it back to Howell unless there's some sort of fuel miscalculation here. 3 laps to go now. Howell's saving, Gary also saving. See if Love is also still saving here. Well, you hear Love stay in it here through 3 and 4. Might be feeling a little bit more confident on his fuel level. But 2 to go now. We'll go. So how heavy saving through 1 and 2. Yep, still saving by all top 3 drivers till the very end here as Howell comes back around, exiting 4. We'll be taking the white flag this time. Just needs to make it another 1.5 miles here, and he will be winner once again as he won already at Chicagoland. Came into the series a little bit later as we kind of entered the second quarter of the season, but working his way through 3 and 4 made a convincing win there in Chicago. Now back here at Kansas. Hal winning tonight at Kansas Speedway. And Gary Love Avila following in the top four. We'll see who claims that fifth spot. I believe Boyd Hogan will be claiming that fifth spot there.